Alright. The high point of my foray into adultery coincides with the low point, I guess, during a I know that doesn't sound possible, but during a drought of sexual activity at some point in my life that I would like to liken to the economic downturn, I had mistakenly invested in some high-yield stocks that found out to be rather fraudulent, and as the bubble burst, I was left with nothing. And recession and depression kind of rhyme. So while sitting at a bar with my friend, we came up with the ingenious idea that I should possibly try and court married women. Because they're emotionally unavailable, and in the event I need to break up with them, you don't really need a reason. I can just look at them and be like, you're married. Duh. It's easier, trust me. And so luckily I work in the luxury car business in a very nice part of town. Even though it's not there, I don't want to get fired. And I'm kind of in the customer service end of the business where I get too hands-on, make people think like I care more about them than the rest of the other rich people who buy cars there. And Monday through Friday, 9 and 11 o'clock is a little period of time I like to call housewife hour, because the kids have gone off to school and the husbands are at work, and the housewives fresh from their tennis lessons come on in with the problems they found in their car during the weekend and that their husbands made appointments for or whatever. So most people are not attractive, I suppose, but in one way, in the way I was looking for attractiveness. But this beautiful 36, 37-year-old woman came one day and had an issue with her navigation system. So I jumped in the car with her, and I'm driving and she's in the passenger seat, and we go off and drive around, and I verify there's not really a problem, just kind of a programming issue that she messed up. And so I'm very flirty and teaching her how to actually use the system so she doesn't have to come back and things like this. And like, this is a situation where the synapses in my brain start going off, that it's a pattern like I've seen in pornography countless times. And like pornography teaches you so many wrong things. It teaches you that like men with remedial education jobs consistently sleep with good-looking women. Like, I wanted to be a pool boy or a pizza delivery man for so long. It teaches you that fellatio is performed all of the time as a precursor to sex with the vivaciousness of an eating contest. And third and most importantly, there's this dialogue of, you know, that whole he said, that's what she said stuff that goes around? That's what she said is synonymous with, that could be said in a porn movie, okay? Like, that's kind of what it is. So I'm thinking in my head as this woman places her hand on me and says the words, we should do lunch sometime, I'm taking it as, we should do lunch sometime. And I'm completely off base. And the English language is so mean in that you can say the same words in one fashion and then say it in another fashion. They mean completely opposite frickin' things. Like, I can ask you, do you like how I hold the microphone? Then I can ask you, do you like how I hold the microphone? And they mean two different things, do they not? And if the porn makes you think that this stuff is what's going on, then we should do lunch sometime turns into, I want to copulate with you while you're on the clock. And I misunderstood, okay? So she calls a day or two later, all right? And she pulls up out front during my lunch hour, and I go out there fully expecting like an arousal situation. And I sit down in the front seat, and I hear in the back seat the childish voice of what sounds like a tax attorney, and it's like, who's this guy? And it's her son sitting in the back seat, who looks like one of Ned Flanders' kids, except fat. And she goes, I hope you don't mind, Jonah and I decided that we'd like to take you to lunch today. I was like, great, she's trying to be so much with the non-committal part, there's kids involved now. But next to the kid is a dog, a full-size poodle dog, which is just weird to me because poodles should be small. But so the kid says, we should go to McDonald's. All right, so we go to McDonald's, and my mind's racing. I don't know what the hell to think. I'm completely out of sorts, and they finally like snap me out and be like, Mike, what do you want? And I'm just like, I'll take what he's having. So I'm eating a chicken figure Happy Meal, and we sit down at the table, and like I'm trying to find a way through this, and the kid's just badgering me with questions and stuff because his father's an attorney and he's only grown up around grown-ups, and he doesn't have any childlike instinct whatsoever. He's going to be a badger his entire life. And finally, he gets up. And he walks out towards the jungle gym area. And the dog is in there with us. It's a service dog, which I don't know what that means. Parents, the free pass, do whatever you want. It's like the police. You have like a badge. It's a service dog. You can go anywhere. So he's in the McDonald's with us. And the kid leaves, and the tone of the conversation changes a little bit. My mind starts racing. And the woman kind of leans forward, and we're making small talk or whatever. And we're just kind of talking back and forth. And her hands are underneath the table. And slowly I start feeling this like movement up my thigh. I'm thinking, all right, this is where it's going. And in the synapses in my brain, I see the porn scene. I see the terrible institution that I've been indoctrinated with. And she says, it looks like Jody's having a great time in the ball pit. And I said, it looks like you've been having a great time in the ball pit too. And she kind of stepped back from the table and like put her hands up. And I was so confused because the feeling was still on my leg and it was the dog's nose.